going to talk about the global warming with my team, and we're going to start with Liliana.
Well, I'm against global warming because just in the past few decades, rising temperatures have worsened extreme weather events. Chunks of ice in the Arctic have been broken apart, and wildfire seasons are months longer. And also, coral reef have been bleached of their colors. And mosquitoes also are expanding their territory, so they're able to spread disease. But what's causing these harmful changes? Well, it's mainly us. We're humans are the ones who burn fossil fuels and chop down forests, causing average temperatures to rise worldwide. That global warming trend is increasingly disrupting our climate, the average weather over many years. Earth has already warmed by about 1 degree Celsius or 1.8 degrees Fahrenheit since the 19th century before industry started to boom. While we experienced the effects, we're on our way toward 1.5 degrees Celsius and 2.7 Fahrenheit by as early as 2030.
As you hear my partner Liliana, he say that in the past few decades, the temperatures have been rising, and it's a worrying thing. Now he's going to talk Samantha, my another partner. So we hear you, Samantha.
So against global warming because on my research I could find that climate change is a natural process. Many people are not responsible about assuming that there is a climate change, but nevertheless not accepting the responsibility of man in the process. 14 of the 15 warmest years are recorded globally have occurred since 2000. The world has already warmed zero point 0.8 Celsius. And the consequences are evident, for example, more produces droughts, more accentuated heat waves, more intense rains, and worse distributed in time floods, violent hurricanes, warming of the seas, and the melting of glaciers. We must pay attention to what we do and the consequences of our actions, and also pay attention to the evidence that does show an increase in the rise in sea level.
Thank you for your opinion, Samantha. I think that is a very important thing about the climate change because most of the nature can be dead because the climate change. Now my partner is going to talk. My partner Carolina. We hear you, Carolina.
Well, recently, the United States released a report on climate change in Europe. Those responsible say that from 2070, the process will be irreversible and confirm the official hypothesis of the rise in global temperatures. Defended by the UN Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, this made up of experts from more than 100 countries affirms in its latest reported temperatures will rise between 1.5 and 2.5 degrees. The results, which have a high level of certainty, according to those responsible, predict that the damage caused by climate change will be greater and faster than previously expected. For example, the report shows that 30% of species will disappear. The experts assure that climate change already affects many natural systems on all continents and in some oceans, and also have visible repercussions on human societies, although in a less accentuated way. Further, various international publications also endorse the rise in temperatures and forest catastrophic consequences, in some cases even worse than those suggested in previous reports. A last example, a study published in July in the journal Nature Geoscience states that the possibility of torrential rains in short periods of time for each degree that temperature rises is double what was previously believed.
Thank you very much, Carolina, about your opinion. I think it's very interesting that you talk about the nature and the naturally habitat of the animals. Now, my partner Sarah is going to talk about that thing. Let's hear it.
Thank you, Mario. Okay, so there are several arguments to prove that climate change is real. The first reason is that in the past decades, sea levels have have doubled actually in comparison to the last 20th century. And there used to be a trend that every year it rised around 1.5 millimeters, but now that quantity is actually doubling and increasing year by year. Another reason will be that starting in the late 19th century, the planet's average temperature has risen around 1.62 Fahrenheit degrees, caused mainly by the increased carbon dioxide and other human-made emissions that have like damaging repercussions in the atmosphere. Also, glaciers are so sensitive to the temperature that they provide warnings about the climate change. Studies conducted by the NASA have shown that, first of all, Greenland has lost around 36 to 60 miles cubic of ice every year in between 2000 and 2006. This is an issue that not only happens in Greenland, but in other parts of the world, such as the Alps, the Himalayas, the Andes, the Rockies, Alaska, and Africa. And last but not least, a reason why climate change is a real issue that is affecting our world is because the acid level in the ocean is increasing year by year as well, making the oceans on the world more acid, which is due to the emission of harmful gases getting absorbed by the ocean, causing an increase in both algae blooms and in massive fish deaths.
Thank you, Sarah, about what you talk. And I know the global warming is not a thing about one country. It's a thing that affects everyone. Like everyone say, the animals, the countries, the ocean, the natural system, the air, everything, the floor, everything. I know it's a thing that makes the humanity being like warning, because the global warming is a thing that is happening now, and in several years it will be very bad for the humanity. Maybe it's going to be more hard. There's going to be very cold some days. It's going to be a crazy change climate in the future. And I think I wanna change that, because I don't wanna be in the future suffering about the global warming, like are we suffering right now. But in the future, it's going to be very bad for us, to our health, to our family, to whoever is in this planet, because the global warming is a thing that is very bad for all kind of species or all kind of humanity. It doesn't matter where you are, if you're rich, if you're poor, if you don't have work, every person get affected about the global warming. I think that is all. Thank you very much, partners, about your opinions, because you make me think about the global warming, and I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything you wanna get in? Anything more? Do you want to say about it? About the theme?
No, I think you made a pretty good conclusion on what we discussed today.
Okay.